Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I have a video that is covering an incredibly complex topic, but I'm going to make it easy, and I promise by the end of this you'll be able to understand something that for a long time I didn't think I could ever explain to everyone. Today we're going to cover the main components of paranoid schizophrenia and how you yourself can understand what it's like. Alright, so imagine that you're 14 years old and you have decided that you want to get a car when you turn 16 years old. So you get a part-time job and you start saving. Now, you already have your car picked out. You want this amazing looking blue car. Of course you want a blue car. Blue car is your favorite color. So you start saving. Eventually, at 16, you make it. And guess what? You've got enough money for, let's say, your dream first starter car. So you go out and you buy your blue car. And you're so ecstatic because, yes, you finally got it. It's yours. It's your favorite car and your favorite color. Everything's great. So you head off to your friends. You got to show them how sweet your blue car is. So you pull up and you're like, hey guys, check it out. So they see it and they're like, wow, that's a pretty nice car. And they're all kind of going on about it, but they seem a little off. And so you kind of are like, what's going on? And they say, why'd you get it blue though? And you say, well, of course I got it blue. It's my favorite color. I've always wanted a blue car. And they kind of look at each other and they say, well, that's not right. You always said you wanted a red car. So then you're a little confused, but you kind of just shake it off and you say, well, that's not right. It's blue. I've always wanted a blue car. And they say, I'm pretty sure, man. I'm pretty sure you always wanted a red car. So whatever. You kind of argue with them a bit. Not a big deal. They're just weird. They don't understand what they're talking about. They don't know. So you get home and you're going to show it off to your parents now because you're once again really excited about this blue car that you finally bought. So you show your mom, you say, hey mom, check it out. Here's my car. She's so excited. She's crying. She's so happy about it. But then again, she's a little confused and she says, well, I understand it's a really nice car and I'm so proud of you. I'm really happy. But why did you get a blue car? And you say, well, obviously you know why. Blue's my favorite color. And once again, your mom looks at you and she's like, no, red's your favorite color. What are you talking about? That's the color. Look at your clothes that you used to wear. Everything was red. And you're a little taken back by this because why would you like red? You've never liked red. You've always liked blue. And blue is your favorite color. And so you're a little confused now because that's multiple people, including your own mother, who's now saying that something that you know is wrong, but it's you who could actually tell you what color you like because you should know better than anyone else yourself what you like. So as time goes on, you kind of think about this a bit and you bring it up to your dad and your mom again and you get into arguments about it because you don't understand. They're your parents. They should know. And your sister, you're arguing with her about it because she should know too, but everybody's insisting that you love red. You've always loved red. It's your favorite color. Eventually, you start getting kind of obsessed with this whole thing. Is it everyone else that's crazy? Or are you crazy? What exactly is going on here? What is the deal with everybody thinking they know better than you? So eventually, after a while, after arguing with people about this, people start to avoid you. They don't want to be around you because you kind of become known as that guy who's obsessed with the fact that everybody thinks that his favorite color is red. It kind of just fuels this fire that keeps building in you of now everybody's saying this about you and now everyone's avoiding you. So something must be going on here and you start to kind of try and figure out like, why is everybody lying to you? Why is everybody acting this way? What is going on in the world where everyone seems to be against you and nothing makes sense? So now, time goes on, it's been a year or two, and you've lost most of your friends, or the friends that you do have, they don't talk to you much because you used to be really cool, and now you're just this weird dude who always talks about his favorite color and tries to convince you otherwise. And nobody wants to be around that because that's just weird. Eventually, you find yourself arguing with your parents all the time because apparently they don't take you for your word, and obviously you can't trust them. So there's just this endless friction between you guys. But you're so obsessed with this whole weird thing that at this point, you can't keep a job and your studies are starting to fail because the world doesn't even make sense anymore to you because everybody seems to be nuts, essentially. Everybody is crazy. And you're like the only person who really understands, because how could you not understand? You know you yourself better than anyone else. So eventually one day, your mom comes in and says, hey, we need to talk, and you're immediately suspicious because at this point you're suspicious of everything. She says, I think you need to go get help. And you're really suspicious now because why would you need to go get help? What could she possibly mean by that? And you ask her, you say, Mom, I don't need help. What are you talking about? And she says, you're so obsessed with this notion of your favorite color, and it's consuming you, and we're honestly scared for you. We want you to get help. And you argue with them, and you don't know what to do because as time goes on, your dad's coming in, your sister's coming in, your other family's coming in, and they're saying, you need to go get help. We are going to make you get help because you need it. And at this point, you're panicking now because it seems like everyone is trying to hurt you. You have no idea what's going on. It's freaking you out. But at this point, there's nothing you can do. You can't just punch and hit your family and fight your way out because that's also awful. So finally, you get to the clinic and you're basically dragged in against your will. And your parents kind of explain what's going on about, hey, he's so convinced about his favorite color. And he's obsessed with it. And it's all he talks about. It's all he thinks about. And he can't do anything anymore. But it's all he does. And he stopped bathing and this and that. And you hear this and it just sounds like everybody is basically concocting this whole thing to lock you up, and you're about to fight your way out, but eventually here they come out to talk to you and they take you back. And at this point you realize you're totally screwed and you're stuck in it. You're now behind the doors. There's no getting out. So eventually, once you're back there, now you're in a room one-on-one with the psychiatrist, and he starts asking you all these questions about why are you here and what is it about your favorite color that you're so obsessed about, and why does it matter, and what does it mean to you, and you let it all out because people just don't get it, and they're all trying to tell you something wrong. And eventually he looks at you and he says, okay, well, I have my diagnosis, you're schizophrenic. And he says, okay, you're going to get started on medication, and I promise you're going to get better. And now you're really freaking out because there's no way, the whole world is the one that's messed up, not you. So either by force or because you decide, all right, let's humor him, you take this medication for a little bit. And at first you just feel tired and you feel weird and nothing's changed. Except eventually one day you start thinking about things and you just kind of realize that maybe everyone else is right. Maybe my favorite color actually is red. And maybe everything I've been thinking has kind of just been nuts. Like, why did this matter to me in the first place? And time goes on and things change a little more. So say in a week or two after that, you realize, wait a minute, my favorite color was always red. And you start thinking, I don't understand. How did I think that? How could I have ever thought that my favorite color was blue? Why did I argue with all these people? You can't wrap your head around why you ever thought that, because you don't feel any different. Now, the only thing is that you know your favorite color is red now. And so you kind of feel embarrassed. You don't want to talk to anyone about it because you've made a fool of yourself for years, and no one can really, you don't understand yourself why you were like that. So no one else could understand why you've been like that. So finally, after a while, you've been on medication for, say, 3 or 4 months, and you're back at living at home, and things more or less feel normal, but you're kind of dealing with your medication side effects. You're sleepy all the time, whatever. But you're still kind of embarrassed, but you put your feelers back out there and you talk to your friends again, and you kind of say, hey guys, I don't know what was wrong with me. I'm sorry, but do you want to hang out again? And eventually, maybe you start to put your life back together a little bit. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's your friends are gone and you've ran them off. Or they're very nice friends and they support you, and maybe you tell them, hey, I have schizophrenia, and they probably say like, yeah, we know, we could tell. Or maybe they just say, well, that's weird, man. The main thing I want to kind of get across here is that this is what the onset and diagnosis and development of schizophrenia looks like. This is what treatment looks like from someone who has it. And what I mean by that is at no point in any of that, do you ever feel any different in your thinking? Because everything always makes sense. There's never this sort of moment where one day you wake up and you say, I think this now because of this. There's just, this is how you always are. And you never think or feel any different. So one thing you might be wondering in this whole example is, what the heck's the point of the blue car and the favorite color and all that? Well, honestly, nothing. The specifics don't matter. What matters is that favorite color, that blue car, any of those things you might be thinking are what directly translates to someone's very specific personal delusions and paranoid thoughts. So for me personally, my delusions and paranoia were gradually that everyone was trying to make me look stupid, to laugh behind my back, that everyone was essentially out to get me, and that I was just one large part of this cosmic joke that everyone was in on except for me, and that I couldn't go out in public because everyone was taking pictures of me and laughing at me and trying to hurt me. But it could be anything to anybody. It could be to someone that they're being poisoned. It could be that they are God, or that they have the proof of God, or that they're being controlled by someone else, or that they have an implant in them. It doesn't matter. The whole point to this whole blue car, favorite color example is that it's a very normal thing to the person, and that it doesn't seem out of the ordinary, and that they would never one day question to themselves, why is this the way it is? It's just, it is. And so the point I'm trying to make is that the person will never truly grasp that anything's changed. So you might be wondering, maybe, because you know someone with schizophrenia or you've seen someone, what about the people who take medication and still aren't great and they still struggle? And that's where I am at. But I can tell you what medication helps you do. And for another example, that would be like if you walk outside and you look at your car and you say, oh yeah, there's my car. I got it because it's my favorite color. And then you catch yourself and you say, wait, that's not right. That's not my real thought. That is not right. My favorite color is red. And what the medication has helped you do is catch yourself in one of those intrusive thoughts and realize that's not real. So that is what medication helps you for on the bad days. So, in a nutshell, that's what paranoid schizophrenia looks like for someone who's suffering from it from the beginning to the end. That pretty much wraps this video up. If you like this video, please make sure to like it, specifically because I worked a really long time trying to figure out how to describe this whole nonsense factory to everyone. I've been struggling to explain it to people I love for years, and after several months, I think I have a pretty good example. So if it was helpful, maybe let someone else know. I just hope that at the minimum you found it interesting, and maybe it helped you understand someone who actually had schizophrenia that you know, and understand why they are the way they are and why they struggle so badly. And as always, I guess I will see you next time.